Hello. Goodness me, it sure has been a while.
Welcome, everyone, to Podro Pascal, a Pedro Pascal podcast. I'm your host, Rachel Leishman.
And I'm your other host, Catrina, also known as Katrina.
As Katrina has already said, it has been a while since we've done one of these. So we thought we would do a little catch up to start. Katrina, how have you been?
Pretty good. I've been working a lot. I've been traveling a lot, getting ready for Star Wars Celebration, which I'm really excited about because, oh my God, there's going to be some Podro stuff going on there, which we'll talk about later. And yeah, I don't know. I've been like redecorating my apartment. I got a boyfriend. Did I get a dog before the last time I was here? Because I got one of those.
You had the dog. You didn't have the boyfriend, to my knowledge, the last time we recorded, but you had the dog.
Got it. Okay, yes. Then yes, yeah, that happened. And it was great. and we've got some like really cool like news as of late. Some stuff we can talk about, some stuff we cannot. Like it's just I am so excited for the future right now, and I can't wait for everything. So, hello, internet. Nice to be back.
You're like, hi, guys.
Hi.
Life has been wild. Guys, we know we said in our Boba Fett episode that we were going to have more regular episodes. That is coming like now. Just not
when we originally we're good now. Everything's good now. It's been a while, a couple months, A lot of stuff has been happening.
It's been a wild couple of months. Because you know what? That's just how it is. Well, let's talk about first. Catrina had already mentioned that Podro Pascal is going to be at Star Wars Celebration.
Hey!
Because I'm going to Star Wars Celebration, Katrina's going to Star Wars Celebration, our producer Ashley is going into Star Wars Celebration, and we are also all staying together at Celebration. All just Podro. If anyone there wants to say hi, you can. Just know that I'm weird.
And honestly, if you're listening to this and you feel like maybe you want to have an outdoor masked meetup, let us know. Like, hit us up on Twitter or whatever. Comment wherever you are. Say hello, and if people are into it, we'll do something like that. If not, you can look for us, but who knows where I'll be lurking.
Lurking. Also, Katrina's in the corner of Celebration, just like on a trash can, I guess.
Exactly. Going full gremlin mode for Celebration. No cosplays, all goblin.
That's how you gotta do Celebration. I don't know. I've never been. This is my first Celebration. But I'm assuming that's how you would do it.
I get to be at your first celebration.
My first celebration. I'm gonna have a lot of fun shirts. I'm gonna wear shirts because I feel like trying to do a cosplay isn't gonna work. I did try and cosplay in my Mandalorian cosplay recently. It lasted for a hot minute, but like it was fun while it lasted. Thank you to my brother. We're going to try and be a little bit more scheduled about our things. Obviously, we'll be at Celebration. Let us know what you want to do. But also, because we haven't been here for a hot minute, there is a lot of news that has come out about our good old boy himself, Pedro Pascal, mainly because he's been doing a lot of press. He is obviously still filming The Last of Us, which is officially coming out in 2023. But The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent is coming out, or by the time this is out, will have been out already. And so there's been a lot of press for that, including something I think is very important to both me and Catrina, which is Pedro Pascal in a lot of pink.
Woohoo!
This is him on James Corden. This suit, okay, I have so many questions about this suit.
Look at him.
He looks so good in this suit. But it looks coral in other pictures,
Mm-hmm.
but then hot pink in these.
Well, I mean, it's all about the studio lighting at the end of the day. Because his hair looks redder in these pictures.
Yeah, I guess it does.
Yeah.
I guess maybe the saturation's up. I don't know what James Corden's up to. But that's not the only time he's been wearing pink. He did I do know this because I did the press day for this show, for this movie, but I was talking to the director and writer, you know what I mean. Anyways, and by this movie I'm talking about Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, they did a bunch of interviews in one day. And so the shirt that Pedro Pascal is on is just a pink like sweater. This is from the Instagram Live where or not Instagram Live. I'm doing a him because he called it Instagram Live. This is from the TikTok Live from the Lionsgate account that says, "I'm the daddiest daddy. Am I the daddiest daddy?" With a little crown on his head like Cosmo.
Yeah, a little ferryman crown.
Yeah, the fairy odd parent.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
But yeah, a lot of pink shirts, which I love.
Mm-hmm.
This is him talking about his mustache and beard with a pink shirt. And yeah, so I mean, the pink shirt isn't the news, but he's just been in pink a lot.
It's worthy of news. Let's talk about it. Like it's one of like I think it's one of those looks like that you'll never forget. Like of his D23 outfit, that like whole thing where it was like the patterned floral shirt,
Yeah,
that he wore, and like the bright pants and stuff. Like nobody's gonna forget that. So I think this was like the aim for the stylist on this tour too. You know, is to just kind of like make a mark while they can with something fun.
and he always makes mark. He had a cool South by Southwest look as well. Because we haven't recorded since then. Like South by Southwest, he had like that white shirt with the black print on it. Also, we're going to talk about The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent because it is honestly one of my favorite movies I think I've ever seen. And it is for sure my favorite Nick Cage movie, and that is a big deal because I like Nick Cage movies. But this press tour and the fact that like Nick Cage is also coming up with absolutely like wild suit choices with like weird descriptions of them. Like I think the one he was like, it's a was it gingerbread? Well, like my thing I like about like this, look, we're gonna talk about the Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, but we're talking about his clothes, so we're talking about it anyway. I love that like the entire press tour for the Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent seems to be just both Nick Cage and Pedro Pascal kind of pulling out whatever looks they think are wild and weird and going with it. And I love it so much because like Nick Cage wore a jacket to the South by Southwest red carpet that he said reminded him of a shortbread, and then wore a brown jacket to the New York premiere and said it reminded him of tree bark. And then when he got to like LA, he was like, "Oh, I had a jacket, but I didn't get to go home." So he just was in a black. But he like keeps thinking of these weird jackets, and I don't know. I can't say for certain. But I do think it is funny that like Pedro Pascal like stepped up in these fun, weird looks for this press tour, and I was like, "Oh, I bet you any money he was just like, oh, what's Nick wearing? All right, I gotta come up with something cool." And I like it. I think it rules.
Yeah.
And that's that on that.
You know, I mean, I can't fault it at all. I think it's time for the fashionable press tour to really return. And as someone who knows absolutely nothing about like what's really in for modern fashion, I really think that this is going to start a trend. You know.
I hope it does. Men wear hot pink. That's what I hope we get out of this. Um, but the news and the hot pink and all of that lovely stuff is not what we're all here for. We are here today to talk about the Judd Apatow film, the the Buble, the Bubble.
The bubble. The bubble.
Yes. So the Bubble is, as I said, it's a Judd Apatow movie. It was based on the idea of kind of what happened with the Jurassic World Dominion filming, which for our listeners that don't know, Jurassic World Dominion was in the middle of filming when quarantine happened. And so they shut down production, and then they were kind of the first to I guess adopt the bubble policy, which was like putting actors in a bubble while filming was happening so that they weren't like COVID, they didn't have to really worry about COVID cases as much, and things like that. Um, and yeah, and so this movie is kind of what inspired of it. Katrina, what did you think of The Bubble?
It is a Judd Apatow film. I thought it was really enjoyable. Like honestly, it's one of those films that like you know everybody had a lot of fun on set making it, and it's really fun to watch. I like seeing all of my favorite actors be as funny and hilarious as possible. So this was kind of like a really good film for me, and I really liked it and had a lot of fun with it. And I love it when Pedro is chaotic. So I can't complain at all.
Yeah, I will go to our tried and true real quick. I will do a very quick rundown of what's going on.
Oops.
Mainly because this movie is pretty straightforward, and I think it's funnier to talk about the parts that we liked instead of go through the movie beat by beat. Basically, what's happening is, like I said, a bunch of actors filming a movie that's the end of a franchise, reportedly. I say reportedly because in the movie that changes, but like these actors go in thinking it's the end of the franchise. Um, for a thing called Cliff Beast 6, which is again making fun of Jurassic Park. Um, and they get put into the bubble, and we kind of get to see how like that affects their mental health, how it affects their relationships in the bubble, how it like kind of how that handle or how they handle that with filming. um and then by the end of the movie, like I think I can't remember if like Cliff B6 didn't even get finished or what happened, but like the documentary of the making of the film is what ended up getting put out into the world. And yeah, I really liked this movie. I thought it was very funny. I also like Judd Apatow movies, so I was like, yeah, this is exactly what I sign up for.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, like, uh, it's just it's one of those movies that you're watching, and like I laughed out loud at times, which sure that seems like the low bar for a comedy, but like when you're watching a movie by yourself, because I was watching it like for to like do a review and stuff for work. um Normally like I don't laugh out loud because I'm like I'm just sitting by myself, not that I'm performing when I laugh, but like why am I gonna laugh loudly? Like no one's gonna hear me. I can chuckle. And then there were parts of this movie where I just fully like couldn't stop laughing.
Aw, that's nice.
I mean, it was mainly like Dieter, them thinking Dieter died. Like, that
Mhm.
was like the part that got me, because there was like, uh, I'll save it. Okay, Katrina, what are some of your favorite parts of this movie that you recall? Like, what did you really like about it?
Honestly, I liked you know me, I love minor characters. The two dinosaur actors, the green screen actors who were always kind of like in the back, like the they were kind of like the Rosencrantz and Guildenstern of this movie, and I greatly enjoyed their commentary throughout. I was excited to see Samson Kayo, who is Olu in that
Our flag
new
means
gay
death.
pirate show. Our flag means death. Yes, he is in the bubble, and he is a delight as usual. I like the way this cast is stacked. There are like some Apatow film staples. Like half of his family is in this. They're delightful. But it's also like I really liked Veer Daz as Ron John, and like I liked all the hotel staff that like were around and like normal and stuff. And then I really liked Annika. She was really funny.
Yeah, I mean, similar to your reaction with Samson, I was excited to see Guz Khan because I watched Taskmaster, and he
Mm-hmm.
was one of my favorites on Taskmaster in his season. And when all of a sudden, like him and Pedro Pascal started tweeting at each other, I was like, "What's going on?" And then I saw that he was in the bubble, and I was like, "Oh, this is great, great
Nice.
energy." I love whatever's going on with their friendship. No notes. Um, but yeah, like this movie does a really good job with like the secondary characters. Like obviously, all these actors are like every actor did a great job of like picking a kind of like caricature of an actor and making it this like obviously thought through character, but like you knew exactly the kind of actor that person was. Like I'm not going to name a name, but Dieter reminded me of one of my favorite actors because of like his struggles and how he like internalizes acting and all that kind of stuff. Like I very much loved his whole deal because I was just kind of like, yes, this is great. No notes. This is exactly what I want from that kind of like character, I guess. It's that kind of vibe of actor, I guess. In a project like this. I also really liked Karen Gillan's arc because
Right.
like
Yeah.
um because I like that it starts with her like being like, "Oh, I love my boyfriend," and then it's being her like, "I'm sad, girl." Same.
Amazing. Well, like this is the thing is that I'm so glad that we're in this time where it looks like Karen Gillan's star is like finally like really rising the way it's supposed to, and has kind of like it should have been since Nebula. Like I remember when like people were trying to get Selfie off the ground, which justice for Selfie, because I miss that show so very much. But I mean, I recently rewatched Gunpowder Milkshake, and she again, like she led that movie expertly, and that goes the same for the Jumanji movies. Like she's great, like she's fantastic in both like comedy and like action, and so it's cool that she gets like these roles that are, especially this one, that's kind of like the meta outlook at like her usual roles that she's been taking recently. So yeah.
Yeah, well, because it was like I'm one of those kids. I'm a Doctor Who fan, so like I love Amy Pond, even though I know a lot of people don't. I love her. And so like when she shows up, when Matt Smith regenerates and calls him her Raggedy Man, I weep. But so I have been wanting people to like, I guess, recognize how good she is. Um, and she's very funny, like you said. Like Selfie was a great show, and I think people kind of just like let it die, which sucks because her and John Cho were really good in that, and it was really fun. And I want like I should just not like shows because whatever shows I'm like this is really good, they get canceled. So
Always happens to me too. Don't worry.
no longer will I like shows. Um, but yeah, no, like I just like everyone's deal in this movie. I really liked like even whatever was going on between Leslie Mann and David Duchovny. I was kind of into because it's Leslie Mann and David Duchovny. Like they were playing those kind of again those actors who were like, look at us, like we're a married couple. We adopted a almost adult, or was he? I can't remember if he was like over 18 or like how old the kid they had. It was like an
I don't
adult
know.
child.
He's like a young man, like,
Yeah, he was like
but he
19 or something.
definitely seemed like an adult. He had like
Yeah.
facial hair and everything.
Yeah. Um, but it was kind of weird to see this movie sell Iris Apatow as not Leslie Mann's child because Iris Apatow looks exactly like her mother. Like Maud, you could maybe get away with like Maud because she looks a little not as
Right.
much like
Yeah.
Leslie. But Iris Apatow looks just like her mom. So I was just like, okay, that's a choice.
Yeah. They did what they could, but no, yeah, she looks like dead on like her mother. So like that was noticeable, but I think like she her role was kind of fun, and I really enjoyed her character a lot.
Yeah, like those TikToks obviously were highlights of the movie.
Oh my god! Okay, this movie, what really sold it for me, it was action, adventure, like meta, blah blah blah. What really sold it for me were the dance numbers. Like I went like gaga for them. Like I was so pleased with like all of the dance numbers for TikTok because they were like just elaborate enough to feel a little like show tuney.
Mm-hmm.
Which was kind of fun. So I loved it. Like that was my favorite thing about this film.
Yeah, and it was fun because everyone kind of like committed to it, which it was like, yes, they were all committed to it because it was like that's what the studio would make them do. But it was funny watching all of these just normal actors doing that stuff because they had to be like, all right, we're going to explain to you why this joke, if you don't already know, works. And then we're going to explain how this TikTok dance work. And it was like, there's probably like 10 steps to get to like, hey, this is funny, trust us. Like, we're just going to put this in
Mhm.
here. And I loved it.
Yeah.
Um, I okay. Are there any other just general thoughts about this movie? Because I do want to just get into Dieter because I am obsessed with his entire storyline.
No, I think those are like the highlights of it for me. It's always nice to see Keegan Michael Key in action. So that was fun, and yeah, I'm ready for some theater talk.
Yay.
Let's
Okay,
see the
so
meter theater. What else are after theater?
uh heater. To start off, here is a picture of Dieter saying, "Listen, I'm sorry, I'm trying to care, but it's hard." And I think that is just genuinely right there why I love this character and this movie. And I think it's so funny because, as we have learned in interviews, Pedro Pascal crafted this entire outfit. Because Dieter's vibe was kind of all up to him, and so this robe look that he wears with sunglasses and all the tattoos was his idea, which I think is really fun because I think that's a fun aspect of acting that we don't get to see that much of. Getting to create your character and the look that they would wear, and so I really like that they got to do that with the bubble. I have two favorite things outside of the Annika stuff with Maria Bakalova. There are like two moments in this movie where I was like, okay, this is genuinely very, very funny and I like it a lot. One being a Star Wars crossover.
Yes.
So, Katrina, would you like to explain what's happening?
No, you know what? I would really I miss hearing your recaps, and I want to
No.
give you the floor so that we can start this.
Okay.
Come
All right,
on.
guys.
It's not
So,
even gonna be that long. It'll be a short one.
no, all right. So basically, what's happening? In this scene, and then I'll break down the other one. In this
Mhm.
scene, they, if I remember correctly, they get put back into quarantine or whatever it is. Dieter's in his room alone. Dieter Bravo. I'm so sorry. Let me say his full name. Dieter Bravo is in his room alone. And he is lonely and he's sitting in front of one of those like workout mirrors that are already kind of freaky because it's a mirror but it's like a person in there telling you to work out. Whatever. I don't get it. So he's sitting on like here's a picture of it. He's sitting on like a yoga mat and he's listening to this face. He's listening to the mirror talk to him. However, the mirror happens to be Rey Skywalker herself, Daisy Ridley.
Daisy Ridley, yeah.
Our producer is saying they're based on the Lululemon mirrors that have workouts like Peloton. Yeah. If you have at least seen a commercial of them. Like if you haven't seen one in real life, I've only seen commercials of them. I don't want to see one in real life. I don't know what it does. Actually, I know what it does, but that's what they say it does. I'm sure these mirrors have an FBI agent in it watching us all.
And I've got enough FBI agents right now.
We're gonna stop recording in the end, then that part is no longer gonna be on there because the FBI agents watching us film this are like, you can't be telling people about what we do in the mirrors.
How dare you?
How dare you let them know that we watch people work out?
Mm-hmm.
But
it's cold. No, forget it.
So he's sitting there, he's like talking to the mirror, and then he starts like flirting with the workout instructor, Daisy Ridley, because he's lonely, and so then he makes out with Daisy Ridley. Oh, look at this earring. He makes out with Daisy Ridley through the mirror, so you're like, okay, but then he busts through the mirror, and the two start having sex in the mirror. How that equates in real life is just, Gear by himself, but
I mean, I took it as like a hallucination kind of deal.
Yeah, it was an hallucination.
He was on, our dear Dieter was on the hardest drugs in the world throughout this movie. And so that, I mean, like, that's what he was struggling with, was the combo of the drug addiction and the sex addiction. And, speaking of Doctor Who, when that happened, I was reminded of the face of Bo. And I was like, oh no.
Your toxic gun flipping. No, that's not the face of Bo. That's the.
Or not the face, because he's in a big tank.
He's a big head.
Yeah,
You're thinking of the toxic head lady with the stretched skin, and they have the spritzer. They spritzer to toxic. Guys, welcome to the Doctor Who podcast. But yeah, like, I liked that whole. It was so weird, and it was funny because like, they gave me my screening link for this. I had to interview Judd Apatow for this movie. I had to. I was very excited to interview Judd Apatow for this movie. But so I was watching it by myself on vacation because I was in Florida for my niece's birthday, and like I put this movie on, and I was like, she wanted to hang out with me, obviously, because I came down there for her birthday, and I was like, I have to watch this for work. Like, I'll let you know when you can come in. She's like, but can't I watch it with you? I was like, I don't. It's a new movie. I don't know if it's appropriate or not for you. Like, I'm sure it's fine. So I was watching it with subtitles on, and like I turned it down, and then just when I was like, oh, maybe she can watch it with me, like David Duchovny and Leslie Mann start fucking each other on set. And so I just quickly paused it and like waited until she left. And so then later this scene came on, and when everyone came back for lunch, and I was like, we gotta stop in the house in the middle of me watching this movie. But yeah, truly an absolutely breathtakingly weird scene.
Yeah.
And one I love a lot. It's not like, I like it. Truly, when I tell you, did not register in my brain that it was a Star Wars crossover until everyone on Twitter was like, Star Wars crossover.
Right? See, I saw that. I was like, what do you mean, Din Ray? What do you mean, Din Ray? What happened? Like,
I think
he isn't even like 4 years old or something yet. Like, what happened? So then I finally watched it a little later than everybody else, and so that's when it dawned on me. It was like, oh, that's Din Ray. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like Din Ho. It's because Oscar and Pedro hang out a lot.
Yeah, it's like I get it, but it was just like my brain was just like, why is Daisy Ridley here? And it didn't catch up to the Star Wars of it all
Yeah.
until, you know, the internet was like, hey, this is Star Wars. And I was like, oh yeah, you're right. What's wrong with me that I didn't think about that? I was just like, Daisy Ridley and Pedro Pascal, that's fun. Um, I guess my second uh favorite part that we can break down, which I kind of mentioned, which made me laugh out loud, was when they think Theater is dead.
Hmm.
Mainly because I have never laughed harder at a man going, "What time is it? Time of death, 3:24." And Keegan Michael Key, I think it was, just goes, "He's still breathing," and he was like, "That's just the body letting the air out." And this guy just fully was like, "He's dead. Don't worry about it." A plus comedy.
Yeah. Like I love that whole like I think the hotel staff secondary cast was like some of the most interesting like group acting I had seen in my life. Like they all have really great individual stories, but like I like this kind of I don't know, it reminds me a little of like Clue movies,
I was
where
just gonna say
like
it reminds me of like a farce almost. Like
yeah,
those secondary
exactly.
characters are doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah. And I love stories like that, like where it's like you don't realize or aren't supposed to realize that there are like two separate teams working in this particular challenging environment. So I think that's really cool and like I loved that scene.
Yeah, and it's like I like you're right. I like the whole hotel staff. Like, and I also love Peter Serafinowicz's little
Perfect.
deal where he's
Perfect.
just him and Fred Armisen are just trying to make a movie. It's just like it's not high art. You're making a dinosaur movie. Like, as someone who loves the dinosaur movies, like you're making a dinosaur movie, and still they were like the greatest thing we're making. Um, but like, yeah, I loved that man. I'm so sorry to that man. I guess I can just hold on. His name is Harry Trevaldwin, I believe. Harry, if you're listening, I'm so sorry. That's not how you say your last name. But Gunter rules. I think it's just that whole scene because everyone is high in the cast because uh, you know, they were all stuck in a hotel together. But yeah, genuinely one of the funniest scenes in the whole movie because they throw Pedro Pascal in a tub of ice.
Yep. Yeah, I remember seeing him posting what on Instagram about that.
Yeah,
It
he
was
posted an
a photo of
Instagram
him
story.
in the bathtub. That was pretty funny. I really liked it. Yeah, just an all in all incredible chaotic performance by Pedro throughout this movie and in this scene too.
Yeah. And then there is what Katrina has already mentioned. So, Katrina, if you want to talk about this little love story that appears
Yeah.
throughout the movie.
So Dieter and Annika apparently have a love story, and it's more like Annika wants to get married, and Dieter's like, sure, why not? And that's how it kind of ends, like he's lost throughout the movie. She's the one constant, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna give it a shot, even though she's 27 years old and like it wasn't alive when Nickelodeon started, you know, that kind of stuff.
Even though Nickelodeon is older than her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, it's like cute. Well, because like obviously he has a sex scene with Daisy Ridley in this movie, but they're flirting the whole time.
Hmm.
Um, but in a weird back and forth way that like
I
is
love it.
charming. It's like charming at the same time as it's like, what are you two doing?
She's nothing but clear about what she plans to do, and I respect that. So
Yeah,
she
it
she
like
never lied, not once. She said exactly what she was going to do.
yeah, and it's fun because it's like towards the end. So like this movie, for those who haven't seen it, I'm gonna spoil it. Um throughout the movie, obviously, it doesn't end well with their filming situation, mainly because the studio has decided that they're just going to keep filming these movies and keep these actors in a bubble, even though they told them it was just this movie. So everyone is like revolting, and also like in the beginning of the movie, Guz Khan like runs away. And so they kill off his character in like the strangest way possible because they're like, well, we gotta kill him. And then Leslie Mann's character, uh, like the actress gets her fingers shot off because she was trying to escape. And so that was like the studio's plan of keeping them all together was like shoot
Wow.
them if they leave. And so I forget what happens to her character. Doesn't someone was it Gunther who plays her?
Oh yeah, yeah. He like replaces her.
Yeah, like someone plays her and then they're like, well, CGI, like I have the
Mhm.
same body as her. They
Yeah,
didn't. Um and like they'll CGI her in and like slowly everyone starts kind of like just dropping out.
yeah, yeah.
Um
Everyone just starts leaving. I remember that scene because it was like I knew something fucked up was gonna happen. Like I felt like somebody's gonna die. Like someone's gonna die in this movie. And somehow when that happened, I still like jumped. Like going, oh my,
oh,
there's blood.
oh
Oh my
no.
sensitivities. Oh,
Well, because it's like this movie has really fun commentary, I think, on
I love
movies and actors in general. Because like going back to Karen Gillan's character, she doesn't have lines, and like they're cutting a lot of her stuff, and they're
it.
making her out to be kind of like not hard to work with in this movie in particular, but like the reason she doesn't have lines and the reason um this stuff is happening is because like she thought she could do better elsewhere. So she made a movie as a woman. Like she wasn't her character trying to fix the Israeli um Palestinian war? Wasn't that like her like the movie she went and made? And then they were like she
Oh
came back
yeah,
to the
and
dinosaurs
she's.
because it was a bad it was like this movie's bad. But like
I
someone was like,
mean,
"Oh, that
choices
movie
were
where he's like
made.
yeah, and so like she because she had left everyone hated her. So like the whole movie it's like her trying to regain her trust. And what's really fun is like the end of this movie when they go to the premiere of the documentary that people are like, "Hey, you're like hard to work with," and then they show all these scenes that like we didn't see because she is the character we've been following.
Right.
A plus, A
Perfect.
plus work. Uh, but yeah, and like it's just like a fun little comedy. I like how it wraps up their little stories. I like um the Annika story with Dieter mainly because like it ends with them being in love with each other on the helicopter as they're trying to escape.
It's so cute. It's so sweet.
Which that's a good payoff too, because
Hmm.
Keegan Michael Key was learning how to fly movie.
Exactly. And they only let him go up
Go up
like
and
up and down originally.
then he's like, I only know how to go up. And they're like, what do you mean? um but yeah, like I don't know. It's just it's good. It's a long movie. Um, like that's not a bad thing. It is just a long comedy. Like you got to spend 2 hours with a comedy.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Understood.
I think people are real mean about it. I don't know why.
No, I mean, you know what? Here's the thing. Like, usually I okay.
Ashley,
Yeah,
I said I don't. People were mean about it, and then Ashley in our chat said 2 out of 10.
and everyone is entitled to their opinion. But you know, the great thing for me, I miss doing the entertainment journalism every once in a while, and every once in a while, I feel like I should like pitch an essay for funsies to people. But like, I also feel really good not having to express myself as clearly on the internet, and I commend you for doing so, Rachel. Because like I just got to enjoy this movie. Like sometimes I don't want to think about a movie, and I just want to have fun. And this was one of those fun movies. Like I don't have a real critique of it because I knew what I was going in for. Like I know this filmmaker, I know this cast, I know what kind of like hijinks this is about, and I didn't. It's like it was one of the first COVID related productions that I watched. That like I didn't want. I didn't feel stressed, like, and that's kind of what attracted me to it. Outside of the fact that like Pedro's in it, it was like, oh, I can watch this movie about like being part of COVID and like living through it and not have like to worry about how I'm going to react to it because it's a comedy. Because I knew what I was going into. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, exactly. Like this was the piece of COVID entertainment that I was excited about. Because I hate the idea of like how many things we're gonna have. Either I don't like when shows recognize COVID, and I know it. They're like, oh, it makes filming easier, and I was like, yeah, I get that, but like, I don't like it.
I think the only other thing that like brought me joy during COVID that was about COVID were those like goofy shorts that were like, here's how to wear your mask. Okay.
You're like, it's the bubble and the goofy shorts.
Yeah, that's exactly. My 2 top COVID recommendations.
One, I get. Oh, and you know what? The Princess Bride at Home. Not COVID created, but or not COVID like doesn't exist in it, but it was a result of COVID.
Yes.
I agree completely. It's just a movie that's I think dumb fun, and I think part of the problem, like you said, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I just think that a lot of people like forgot that like sometimes movies are just dumb fun. And maybe because like Judd Apatow, his comedy is a bit different in those in a lot of ways. But yeah, I don't know. I like it.
I'm glad that it brought us back together. I'm glad we got to enjoy this film and talk about it. And I'm very much looking forward to our future episodes as we start churning these out more. So yeah, it's good to be back with you, Rachel.
Thank you. Yeah, the bubble helped because the bubble got us back here so that we could just keep on trucking. But now, guys, that was the bubble. Watch it if you want. Listen to me recap the great scenes. But now it's the time for the tried and the true. Our favorite. Wait, hold on, please. Stash, 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 stash. The stash on everybody's lips is gonna be Pedro's. It's Stash of the Week.
Stash of the Week.
Where myself and Catrina pick our favorite stashes. I did go a stash from the movie.
Okay.
For my pick. Katrina, actually, let's do yours first because yours is fun and has a story.
I actually am going with press tour stash. I mean the way it just shines against the pink hues of this particular press tour's outfit choices. I really think it's a great stash, daddy stash.
The daddiest of daddy stash.
Exactly.
Oh, the glasses.
It's the best he's ever
looked. Good glasses.
Yep.
Yeah, it's the little messy hair and the glass. The Italian just popped out. I was going like this.
Yeah.
My stash is Pedro Pascal, the goat.
Yes.
This is from the bubble, or from the filming of the bubble, from the bubble itself. This is Pedro Pascal in a very warm-looking coat, holding a goat with a tie on, with a good stash. I I like his raggedy beard. Go back to this thing where it says that his trademarks is a mustache and a very short yet raggedy beard.
Yes, yes. A lot of
Or it
people
says
don't
ragged.
think
I keep
that
saying
is
ragged.
that's actually Pedro's real estate agent. His name is Bobby. He's pretty popular here in LA, and yeah, so they're there. That's actually them viewing the property just to survey stuff, just in case.
Maybe eat some of the.
Yeah, eat some of the grass. Bobby is along with being a great real estate agent, he's very good at terraforming. So
What's that game that kids play where they move? They like build
yeah,
Minecraft. He's real good at the
yeah,
Minecraft thing.
exactly. And so that's why that's a little known fact about Pedro Pascal and
He
Bobby the goat.
brings his real estate agent, Bobby the goat, everywhere.
Everywhere. That's why
Yeah.
Bobby's so
He
sharply dressed.
He went to Croatia with him. They were filming Unbearable Weight of Massive. He's everywhere.
Yeah,
He's
I mean,
currently in Canada.
What's he gonna do? Come on this show and disprove me?
Yeah, you gonna tell us that your real estate
what's he gonna do?
isn't a goat?
I'm just saying, whatever.
You gonna try and tell us your real estate agent isn't that goat? He has a tie.
Yeah.
Bring up the tie. We gotta look at the like.
If you don't want us thinking that goat is your real estate agent, then why is he wearing a tie? And a collar. Just like a tucked vest. That goat is dressed.
Yeah.
Ready to sell some property.
That goat said, "Hey guys, I know how property management works. Next thing you know, that goat's going to be on Selling Sunset."
Exactly.
I don't know if you guys know this, but you've just come to a comedy hour where we're just making jokes about this goat.
Homeowners on the range.
I like that this goat has no idea what it's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's like, I don't know why this man's holding me. This coat is warm.
He's like, what happened? Why am I here?
He's like, this is, I guess, fine. Yeah. I'm not sure. Goat. Sorry.
I love baby goats.
Baby goat.
I used to do living nativity at my church just because they brought in live baby goats. And so I always volunteered for it, even though it was like kind of awful.
You're like, but there's a goat.
Yeah, I have to do like this play about Jesus every 15 minutes, but at least I have like baby goats here,
I used to scream like goats in college. I couldn't do it now, and it is also I can't be that loud. But I used to do the like where they yell. Guys, this is a goat hour. There is also one other thing from this press tour.
I love goats.
I love goats.
So cute.
Before we give our quick little ratings and sign off, there is one more press thing that we have not looked at yet.
Yeah. Oh, what is that?
Which is Pedro Pascal saying that Oprah Martell is the slut.
Hot girl summer has begun early, folks. That's our sign.
Hey, I didn't even read what it said out loud because I was just laughing. It says he's the slut I wish I always was, which is about Oprah Martell. Everyone's favorite slut.
Yeah, I respect it. I really.
So for our ratings, obviously, I give every movie 10 out of 10. It was a 10 out of 10. I liked it very much. I laughed. 10 out of 10. Official review from me. Catrina, what do you give The Bubble?
I'm gonna give it an 8.5 out of 10. I don't really have major complaints. I don't know. It's is it an Oscar winner? Who knows? I don't know what Oscar Isaac thinks of this movie. Woo! So I can't tell you if it's an Oscar winner. But it is an 8.5 winner from me. It's a big old heart.
Our producer, Ashley, who 10 minutes ago said it was a 2 out of 10.
2 out of 10.
Responded with, wow.
Yep. Nope. I'm like in a good mood now. Who knows? what I'll think or how I'll feel in a few weeks, though.
Yeah, this is gonna get this is
might
gonna
change.
go live, and we're gonna get so many people being like, "What's wrong with the two of you?"
I'm not
like
taking this podcast seriously ever again. It's like,
you two gave the bubble a great score.
who do you think you're listening to? We're in season 2, okay? By now, you should know what you're in for.
You guys should know that we're gonna just like
I
whatever.
didn't even put on makeup today for this on-camera thing. Like you guys, we're in it. You're in it now. There's no going back.
If you've listened up to this point, you're in it. We can give you whatever we want.
Yep.
No, I shouldn't be. We'll give you whatever we want. I mean, I did put purple eyeliner on, but it was because I went and saw a play.
Yeah. I love your purple eyeliner. By the way, it was great.
Did it for POTUS, a play, not Joe Biden, a play called POTUS.
Right, I heard about that recently.
It was great.
There's a play called POTUS.
There's a play called POTUS. Vanessa Williams sang "Roar," the bubble. Yes. Yeah, guys. We can thank the bubble for bringing us back together. We can thank, in a future episode, the unbearable weight of massive talent for keeping us going.
Can't wait. So excited for that one.
If you're watching this and you haven't seen it yet, go to a theater and see that movie. I want to talk to everyone and anyone about it. I feel slightly like I'm losing my mind because I've watched so many Nick Cage movies in the span of a couple of days. And by watching, I mean I'm also rewatching a lot of them. But I'm a 90s child, so that means I watched most of them at an age where I don't remember the plots. I could tell you certain things, but I couldn't tell you the whole movie. So I rewatched like Con Air, a movie I have some hot takes about, which I guess we can talk about. Listen, Cameron Poe should have never been in jail in the first place. Those men were gonna murder him, and then he went to jail. Yeah, now this is Nick Cage pod, but guess what? You know what? Pedro Pascal would enjoy his podcast turning into a Nick Cage podcast.
Stay tuned for the Nick Cage podcast. Flick your Nick.
Coming
to an airwave near you.
I mean, that was a tangent, but yeah. Any who's it's. Guys,
we did it. This is the end of the episode.
That's how we're gonna start ending episodes. This is the end of the episode.
There's no monster at the end of this episode. Unless we do. It's just us.
Did you guys miss us? Catrina, where can the people find you?
Hello, people. You can find me anywhere on the internet at Katrina, and on April 30th, you can find me on the TTRPG Gifts Twitch stream playing Peppa from Encanto in a Kids on Brooms Encanto one-shot called Encantados with some amazing, amazing people. We're raising money for Taqueria, which is the tech organization supporting Latin American developers and young geniuses. So come on in and help us tell a story of the Madrigal family again.
Yay! And you guys can talk about it. See what I did there?
Yes.
See what I did there?
Mm-hmm.
You can talk about it. I guess we talk about Bruno. Anyway, I cannot get that.
There are going to be discussions about Bruno.
I cannot get that song back in my head. I woke up with it in my head today. I couldn't tell you why.
Full-fledged conversations, chat logs about Bruno.
Oh, Bruno. Yeah, guys, you can follow me on Twitter at Rachel Leishman. You can follow me on Instagram at Rachel_Leishman. Where the Nick Cage movie follows me. Just letting you guys know that the Nick Cage movie account follows me on Instagram. Highlight of my life. You can follow us here at Podro Pascal, where we
are going to start putting episodes out at least once a month. We're going to be more up to date. You guys, if you want to see us at Celebration, let us know. We could
Yeah.
do like an outdoor thing. We can wave from across the room. We can just say, Podro! And then someone else just yells Pascal back at us. Whatever you guys want to do, just let us.
Live from the Disneyland parking lot.
Listen, I
Pedro Pascal.
already told Ashley I'm trying to get into Disney at some point just so I
Same.
could go see the Avengers. I want to see Mr. Knight in his little suit. I love Stephen Grant
I
so much.
love that. Yeah, let's totally plan that after this show.
Ashley said we're going. I want to go see Stephen Grant. Pedro, if you're there and you want to come to Disneyland with us, just let us know. You want to come? Let us know.
Coming up. Why not?
Why not?
What else are you doing that weekend?
What if that is that? You know what? New manifesting goal, and then this episode really will be over. Our new manifesting
In
goal.
the Toy Story parking lot.
Yeah.
We will be there.
No, in Scar. How dare you? We're going Scar. So we're going into the Scar parking lot in Disneyland, California. We're gonna meet up. We're gonna roll into Disney, and then that is going to be the episode that Pedro Pascal is on of Podro Pascal. Is we're going to be
The last time I was at Disneyland, I saw Jon Favreau. So, next up, come on, let's do this.
I'm about to start crying.
It was my birthday. It was a lucky day. So let's put that in the manifestation doc.
Yeah, Catrina and I do have matching lightsabers.
Yes, we do. Oh my god, yes. See, we have to go and take photos with our lightsabers because we can bring them in the cases. So yeah.
Well, I don't know that I can bring my purple one back on a plane.
I think you can. I think there are lightsaber policies. We'll check on that because there were some at past celebrations on airlines. So who knows?
But guys, until next time.
Yes.
This was Podro Pascal. Like, rate, subscribe, listen, email us, talk to us, be our friends. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.